In last episode, Victor joined me on Greatcircle and we caught up with the other boats of the fleet, going to the northern islands of Vanuatu.
Not bad, hè?
On the day that there was no wind at all forecasted, we had a beautiful sail from Port Sandwich on Malakula, Lambrin, where the Yam and the Rome Festival were about to start.
Dance naked on the pond.
Not a bad decision to stay on board on the second day of the festival.
Good morning. Next island will be Pentecost, where the guys jump off a tower with just a Tarzan thingy on their feet. Nice, eh? With the sun out.
The people of Pentecost prepared a very warm welcome on the beach.
Tomorrow morning they're gonna jump from this tower with only the same things that where Tarzan is swinging through the forest on their legs, head first. Ooh.
Reefing because they say that this way is just similar to
Dance naked on the palm trees.
En le Victor, il travaille toujours.
He is sitting on his viserie.
This is where it's going to happen later this morning, when all the dancers from the southern villages have arrived as well, because it's raining cats and dogs there. You can only hope that the rain stays over there. It does look dangerous enough already. The jumpers all jump from different platforms, starting at the lowest, working their way up all the way to the top. And every time somebody jumps, the platform breaks its fall partly. Each platform can only be used one time.
Dance naked on the palm trees.
And the dancers, they are full of energy. They keep dancing for hours and hours until the very last jumper has made his way down. Then it's time to return to the boat. We will leave immediately and cross to Santo, 70 miles, where we can check out for crossing to Australia.
Thunderstorms were passing us, but just to be sure we rigged Goat Zero instead of the Zenica. There could be a lot of wind on our way to Santo. It's about 70 miles from here, so we'll arrive there in the dark. There's no way we can avoid the storms in front of us. They seem kind of stable, they're not moving from left to right as you would expect. So let me start by saying that we should have taken a reef from the very beginning. That's clear, no discussion. We looked at the forecast and the forecast was talking about gusting 20 knots, like that. When we left Pentecost, after the jumping, we clearly could see the thunderstorms in front of us. We heard the rumbling as well. And we should have taken a reef right away. Crazy guy! At first it didn't seem to be a problem. We had winds 23, 24 knots. The apparent wind was still below 20 knots. And we had the Solent out, so the small jib, it's only 48 square meters. And we were convinced that there was plenty of room for the wind to increase a bit. Well, suddenly the boat left, 40 degrees to the left, and the autopilot couldn't manage anymore. So we had to put the Traveller way more out, as we're on the edge where we should have our first reef. The full mainsail is pretty big compared to the Solent. When the sail is tight, there's just too much pressure at a certain point on the back of the boat, and the boat will start luffing. We had that before, but we managed to correct it by steering manually. We're falling a bit to reduce the apparent wind. It's already a lot more quiet, or?
Surfing down the way.
We were kind of warned and should have taken a reef again at that point. already had a nice couple of surfs, and I installed the GoPro on the tap on our kitchen island to monitor what was happening. First the wind increased to more than 30 knots. That brought us on the apparent wind limit, of course, without a doubt. Then we had basically two choices: turn the boat into the wind, take a reef and go back on course. Or what we considered as a way in between was furling the sole end to reduce the total sail area. I think that was the biggest mistake we made. This reduced the front sail area in comparison to the mainsail even more. That much. Just in 40. And you can clearly see on a certain point the boat just starts turning into the wind all by itself. Try to correct it manually again with the steering wheel. Not a chance that the rudder was able to compensate for those forces. Basically the boat told us, I'm gonna reef now, whatever you think of it. The boat turned to a wind angle of 40 degrees into the wind, and there was basically nothing else to do than go to the mast. Victor went to the mast. To be honest, we had 40 knots apparent turning into the wind. The state was not that terrible. We were quite okay and relaxed putting the reef in afterwards. Last couple of miles on the engine. The boat in the top left corner is Blue Way. They're already in front of the customs office, where we're gonna check out tomorrow.